All right, so this is a helpful video on shifter carts. Now, normally you guys are not used to me doing videos on anything but four-stroke, but I've got a kind of a new guy that I'm helping out, and he bought this Musgrave platform. The whole cart is a Musgrave platform with the SCUSA SK1 pipe that's legal for all SCUSA competition, and he had a problem with this thing breaking. This bracket right here just broke off, and as you can tell, it had broken and then it really just snapped off. So the bottom line here is that when this thing was installed, it was installed improperly, and if I could find the other piece for it, there's a significant, there it is right here, there's a significant amount of cracking on this. And so aluminum on aluminum with a steel bolt on something that gets high frequency, this thing revs to 15,000 RPM, so this is real high frequency vibration. And this also applies to anything with a lot of arm on it. So weight times arm equals moment, right? So there's a lot of leverage on this little piece. This little piece was that piece that went right there, okay? So what the problem was with this one before was that the arm was under a lot of preload torque, meaning it was not lined up with this thing at rest, strapped in, ready to go, okay? And as you notice, there are no bolts. This thing's not falling out. It's sitting in the cradle. I don't have it sprung in yet because I don't want it sprung in yet. So that thing is sitting where it's going to be sitting. You can see that's where the springs went before. We're going to let this guy go by, this Tillotson. By the way, the new Tillotson chassis right there. Pretty cool stuff. So I drove that thing earlier today. Back to what I was talking about. So this thing was all crooked on this old setup, and unfortunately that high frequency and a lot of stress that goes on in this thing, I mean, you got to consider it's tied to here with a spring, or two springs actually, and it's got this tie to it with a rubber mount to do a little bit of isolation with this arm that comes off of it onto here, and then you have this that goes to this bracket here with also springs on it. So the thing's very flexible. So the bottom line is that if you don't get this lined up perfectly static like it is right now, I mean, this thing is just sitting in there. There's no torque on the bolt whatsoever, and it's reasonably tight. And there's a reason why that's elongated, is so that this thing can actually move. This rubber isolator can move. So if you over torque this thing and make this rubber isolator blow out, you're putting a lot of unneeded torque on this platform here. So it's really important that you don't over tighten this stuff, that you get it lined up properly, so there's no torsion on this piece. It's already going to get enough torsion as it is, and it's high frequency stuff, so this thing is vibrating back and forth at very, very high rate of speed. So just watch yourself on that one, and you won't get these aluminum stress cracks. I mean, this is the point where I considered having it welded, but there is no way in hell that's not going to get welded. That thing will just end up cracking again. So that's a worthless piece of metal. I'm going to have that for a recycler. Anyway, just a little bit on a shifter cart exhaust mount.